Let's hook this up. Let's find it. Find it. Hello, hello, everyone. Gotta find it on Facebook myself. How's it going? All right, here we go. There it is. Nice. Well, welcome everybody. My gosh, Kyle, you didn't even give me a chance to get on here. Wow, that's awesome. Well, welcome. How's it going? Uh-oh, I'm bleeping here. Welcome to tonight's show, everyone. Hopefully the bleep wasn't someone bleeping me. I heard a bleep. Oh my gosh. Well, tonight's show is going to be a good one. I'm glad you're along for the journey tonight. Can I say tonight again? How you like that new graphic there? Bam. Here we go. Here we go. Gotta go up. Bam. Nice. Rock on, Kyle. Rock on. All right. Well, welcome to tonight's show. We're going to talk about legacy and what we want to do with our lives and setting our goals and that out there too. So welcome for being along on this journey tonight. We're going to get the party started in 6 minutes from now. So you still got time. Go stretch your legs. Get a beverage of your choice. Prost. And get a pad of paper and a pen too while you're at it, because we're going to have some fun tonight. Wrote about this in my email this morning. Who used to say bam? Who was that? Emerald? I think Emerald used to go. Didn't he used to say bam? Bam! There you go. Well, we're going to talk about living your legacy. And going and doing a little homework on that. And, you know, defining our goals this year. So we're going to talk about that in about little over 5 minutes from now. Welcome, Ember. Thanks for coming along on this journey tonight. And we're going to talk about that and, well, take any questions and a whole lot more in that. So stay tuned for that and then some, huh? How was your week? What was going on? What? Really? That was exciting. I had a troll that I got to delete off of my comments from last week. That was kind of fun. I had my first troll. Yay! First legitimate troll. The only ones that usually come on to mine or post something in the comments on mine are usually ones that are trying to sell something, music or blah, blah, blah or something, and then I delete them off right away. And funny thing is, their whole profile disappears. I can never find their profile. I used to try to report them to Facebook and things like that, but their profile just kind of disappears. I don't know how that works, but they certainly make that happen. Ember is blowing up in her group tonight and yesterday. Oh my gosh, was some good stuff going on there. But she was blowing up in her comments. Way to go on that. We talked about that last week, about the algorithm and all that good stuff. And, well, she defied that algorithm. It's all activity. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. But tonight we're going to talk a little bit, a different way of going after goals or writing your goals for this year and things of that sort. And we all do goals. It's a matter of whether you write them down or whether you just think them through. And you know, at the moment, we all have goals every day. So I'm gonna give you a little bit different perspective on maybe making those long range goals that you have out there. But make sure you share this with your friends, as I'm going to put that out into mine. There we go. And bam. Posted that one. There we go. But share that out to your friends. Share it out to any groups that you have. That are within there. That's okay. There we go. All right. Thanks for the love. Appreciate it. Oop. I lost my comments. I got to bring them back up here. There we go. Welcome aboard, Courtney. Appreciate it. You got to throw me a comment in there. Come on. I got to know who it is. We're going to get the party started in just under 2 minutes from now. We're talking about legacy. What do you want to be known for? Where do you want to go? I'm going to give you some hints, some ways, some exercises to go about that. We're trying to, well, it all starts with goal setting, right? We've all set goals, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more in detail on the way up. But, hi. That's for you, Courtney. Jamie, welcome aboard. Thank you. Thanks for joining. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about goals. A little bit different perspective on getting in the right mindset to then set some bigger, larger goals, to go big or go home, right? No, but we're going to go big, and then we're going to break them down a little bit. So I'm going to take you through a little exercise tonight, and hopefully if you get my emails, I forewarned you on that. You had the whole day to do this, so hopefully you picked up that and you can be on that email list. If you hi Grant, how are you? If you do not get that email yet, feel free to just throw it in the comments. I'll certainly message you or add you to the email list on that. But about 30 seconds away, we're going to start this show. And tonight we're talking about your legacy. Living your legacy is really the concise title of that one. And I think it works for me. I love it. And so I'm going to show you and give you some exercises tonight to do. Hopefully everything's... Hey, Dad! Welcome. Don's my dad. 4 seconds. Welcome to tonight's show. I am Dave Stelma, and you're lucky to be along on this show because it's a really good one. We're going to talk about living your legacy. A different perspective on setting your goals for 2018 and probably your whole entire life. Right after the intro. Do you live your legacy? And what I mean by that is, if at this very moment you are no longer with us, what would people say about you? What would be their memories? What would be the legacy that you're going to leave for them? That's what I'm talking about. So the exercise I pointed out for people that are on my email list this morning, the exercise I gave them is to list your accomplishments so far in your life. If you were gone today, what would be the things that they would talk about? What would be the things that they would remember? What would be the, and beyond the, and you break it down, what you do, what you have, those are, you know, things in there, but what is your being? What are you leaving for them? Whether that's knowledge, whether that's, you know, you know, it can be financial, it can be all of that good stuff, but what is your real meaning of how you've led your life? What are you leaving for a legacy? And I'm going to go into that in the next section, but who are you leaving that for? And so I want you to make a list, truly make a list. And if you're not on the email list and you weren't doing that today, if you have done that today, throw me in the comment section. Throw me a couple of things that you've thought through today of all the accomplishments that you've had in your lifetime. Whether it's what you have, what you do, you know, it could be that you had a big position or a leadership position or whatever it is, you know, good dad, whatever it is, good mom, any of those things. But throw those in the comment section if you can. But what I want you to think about is all those accomplishments, because there's a lot of things that you are leaving as a legacy to loved ones, to just the public in general. And when you think about it from that perspective, as you're making your list, you're going to start out usually with the physical things, who you were, what position you had, things like that. But then it's going to start boiling down to what you're leaving as far as of who you have been as within yourself, the love that you've shared, the beyond materialistic things, the love that you've shared with people, the relationships that you've built, and the friendships that you've built, and those are going to be the things that people will most remember you about, because they're gonna draw off the feelings that you gave them. Now the opposite can happen too, and there might be a few. There might be a few in the crowd, but that's okay, because you haven't gone away yet. So if your list on the negative side, being an empath, it's like I always kind of put down things that I've done, or, oh, that's okay, or I know I don't need a compliment from that, or whatever it is. There's going to be things that you may go that way, and that's fine. You can list those down, but don't focus on those. Focus on the good things that you've done. And as you're making your list, think of a couple of things. One, if there's things that you're not so proud of, you know, on that side of the list, if that starts getting longer and your focus is on there, we can turn those around. If it's something that you feel that you're not so proud of, we can turn those things around. And you still have time, because, surprise, you are still with us, which is the cool thing. So make your list. Start writing that list, all the things that you've accomplished in your life so far. And then we're going to take that list and we're going to start focusing on it. We're going to focus our intentions on it. And it could be that you, and I'll give you a great example of taking that negative and twisting it around, because one of the things that I said this in my email this morning, one of the things that I didn't, hi Janet, yeah, Grant says family history, 30 years of research, laughter, yeah, knowing that people are loved, yeah, great, yeah, and I agree with you, Grant, you're awesome. Trying to see if there's any more. There we go. Courtney says in there, I've always wanted my legacy to be that I made everyone feel comfortable being their authentic, weird, genuine, unique, and real selves. Yeah. Yeah, and people are going to appreciate that. Those are both great. Keep them coming in. Keep them coming into the comment section, because we have a whole long list. When I went to Breakthrough to Success with Jack Canfield, can't say enough about it. Sign up for it. Go there. One of the exercises that we had to do is we had to list 100 things. And you start out with those material things and things you've done for others and things of that sort. And then pretty soon the list starts getting a little bit more intimate and more intimate. And pretty soon there's some feelings that bubble up to the surface as you're writing your list, because there are things accomplishments that you've done that maybe we don't view them as accomplishments, or maybe they happened a long time ago. And with that exercise, we always go through and try to start at the earliest time in your life that you can remember of what you've done, and then work your way forward that way. And generally, you're going to go beyond 100 things, because the longer you've lived, I mean, if you're young, you may not have 100 yet, but when you're 54 years old, or soon to be 54 years old, you're going to have a pretty good long list. There's things that you've accomplished in your lifetime. I know I've accomplished in my lifetime. And then I have to sit back and I have to appreciate those things, because you take 100% responsibility, and we plague on that like a ton. If you're in any of the groups that I'm in, or things that you'll hear me say that a whole lot, taking 100% responsibility for every decision and things that you do. And when you do that, we have to go, I made that happen. When I put together a band and was playing in clubs, I made that happen. It wasn't anybody else that held my hand and walked me through it. So, thank you. Thanks for the love. There you go. And so as you make your list, and do it, whether you make goals, physical goal, you write down your goals for the year, things of that sort, or not, appreciate those things, those accomplishments that you have done in your life so far, because there's probably a lot of people that are watching you that you don't know. I'm always amazed I do this every Tuesday. I put it out there every Tuesday, and I'm always amazed that when I go back a couple of days later that I've had 500, 600, 700 views. Who would have thunk that? And I know I'm just some guy, right? But there's people that look forward to this. And so that drives me to make sure that I'm doing this every Tuesday at 6:30. Getting the show out there and because obviously somebody's getting some kind of, I'm doing some good in the world. How's that? So this is definitely part of my legacy that I want to do and have been doing. But make that list, appreciate it, reflect upon it, and then start looking at how you accomplish those things. How did you do that? Because at some point in time, whether you physically write down these goals or not, you set a goal and you made it happen. Could be that you purchased a house. That's a very easy one that we all can relate to if you've ever done it. You purchase the first house that you purchased, you had to somehow come up with a down payment. You had to somehow go to the bank and talk them into giving you a loan. And all these different steps, and there was all obstacles and hurdles that we had to overcome to do that. So it's a great thing when you reflect back that you built this beautiful house, or you bought this beautiful house, and then you remodeled it, do different things. When you reflect upon that, think about, take one of those and just think about the steps that you did mentally. And you may not have written them down, but you did take steps to do it. And so think about those steps that you took and what you did, okay? Because that's going to help you out with the next segment, which is goals. Goals. Who's got them? We got them. Yeah, goals. So once you make your list of your past accomplishments, then I want you to reflect upon, because we're talking about legacy. Now, who are you living your legacy for? Who are you going to be giving this legacy to, right? It can be the general public. It can be a friend. It could be, whoever it is. You're living a life of legacy. What are you going to give to those people? What are you leaving as your legacy? And I want you now, because you saw all the things that you did so far, and as you plan your future, I want you to think about and keep in the back of your mind what, as you plan those goals, do you want to go bigger on those goals? Do you want, what do you want to do as you're writing out those goals, as you're planning and you're chunking those down on how to accomplish those goals? What do you want? What do you want as your legacy? And the first part of that is, who are you going to be living your legacy for? Who are you leaving it to? And how do you want them to be in a better place than you are? And that's what you have to do in step 2 when you're writing these goals. Think about that. I want you to keep that in the back of your mind. However little that is, I want you to keep that in the back of your mind, always there, always, and maybe just put the word legacy and tape it to the top of your monitor or on your wall or on your mirror in your bathroom. And just that one word, legacy. What do I want my legacy to be? What do I want to make it a better place, obviously. I want to leave some form of legacy, whether that's that I'm going to, give my home to someone else, or, and what shape do you want that in? Do you want your legacy to be that you leave a lot of debt? I don't think anybody wants to do that, but we may get into different roles or positions that may not allow us to be debt-free, of how we do things. So, then that might be your focus, is to, what? I'm going to speed that up, and I'm going to leave, my legacy is going to be to leave everything to be debt free and to leave that legacy to someone else. It could be something as simple as that. But you want to keep in the back of your mind, who are you going to be living your legacy for? Because everything you do, everything you say, everything you are as a being is being watched by someone. And it could be multiple people. But you're being watched on a kind of, seems a little freaky, right? We're being watched. Oh no. It's not Big Brother that's watching you, but it could be your friends, it could be your family, it could be anyone, or your clients. In my case, clients watching me in that too. Excuse me, a little bit of the cold still coming out. But who do you want? Who are you leaving your legacy for? So that's the first thing you got to keep in mind as you're writing these goals. It could be that you want to go really big on your goals because you're thinking, I'm leaving a legacy to everyone that's out there. I want to leave my knowledge. I want to guide people so that they can be on a better plane of consciousness or of knowledge and accomplish bigger and better things in the world. It could be something of that sort. And if that's the case, now we got to, as we're planning our goals, we got to plan big. We got to do courses. We got to do, we're going to write books. We're going to do things of that sort. And that could be your legacy. Or it could be as simple as, I just want to make my house as beautiful as possible. And so that someone else, the next generation, grandkids, whoever it is, can take this and go forth and live here debt free or whatever it is. And so that's you got to first look at who are you going to be living your legacy for? And then we're going to start doing those goals. We're going to start writing those goals out. And it could be big long-term goals, 20 years out, whatever it is. And then we chunk them down to what we can accomplish this year. Every step, gets you higher and higher on that escalator. I had to say escalator just for Courtney. Hi, Julie. Hi, Gulliver. Who else is on here? Oh my gosh, I'm slacking in this. Who else is on tonight? There we go. Welcome. Thanks for coming on board here. But yeah, sorry, Courtney. I said escalator. And what's going to take you, then we're going to chunk down those goals and get you step by step along the way. And that's all you do. And whether we write them down physically, which is the best way to do it, because now you can cross it off as you accomplish. And when you cross that goal off, every step of the goal, every little goal adds up to the big goal. And as you cross those off, what does that do? Oh my gosh, now we feel like we've accomplished. Now, or you can mentally just put it in the back of your mind. I have to get a better job so that pays more, so I'm going to send out 3 resumes a week, or I'm going to do 3 applications a week until I get to a job that pays me, more money, blah, 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 whatever it is. And you can just kind of go through the motions and not write them down. But then what does that do as you attain those things? So you went out and you filled out 3 applications in one day and you're like, whew, I got this done. But you didn't get to cross off your list, but you felt a little bit better. It's kind of like going to a store and being all kind of stressed out, and you buy something to make yourself feel good. You feel a little bit better at that moment in time, but then it doesn't really resonate with you, right? It doesn't stick with you. That feeling doesn't stick with you. I love that you guys communicate amongst each other in the comments. That is so cute. It's where everybody collects on a Tuesday at 6:30 here at Dave Stelma. There we go. But when you set those goals, think of that in mind, okay? And then it's like, what do you want to be remembered doing? What do you want to remember as having? You know, it could be that you want to have a big house. I don't know. That used to be the big thing, probably why, but somehow it seems to be scaling down, right? We're getting back to normal after 2008. But it used to be want to have a big house, so everybody had a mansion or something, you know, posted on their vision board, and you know, that's what they want to be remembered by. But I think now, at least the groups I hang out in, we're a little bit more scaled back. We're thinking about what we want to leave as a legacy to others, as far as knowledge, as far as to get them to a better place faster, getting farther faster. That's what we were striving to do, is to help people out and to get them farther faster. But keep in the back in mind who you're living your legacy for, and then start making the goals based upon living your legacy now. So you're going to be painting a picture in and touching those people that you want to touch mentally and in their hearts, and you want to make a list of who that person is and what you want to be known for, right? Because now we can take all those things that were on the negative side that you put in that negative list, or the things that made you feel uneasy, that you just didn't do them good enough, or you didn't mend that fence enough. And now we can switch more to the other side, because we can make those into goals of mending those relationships, or being a better person, or whatever it is, financial, physical, spiritual. We can start making that goal list and doing those things and accomplishing that. And now we're going to focus on what we want to be remembered for. What is our legacy? Who are we going to leave that legacy to? That's what we can do now, because now we can move forward with that goal list. Are we getting a little inspired? Are we getting this? Are you feeling it? I hope so. Let me know in the comments. Besides a hi. But yeah, and let me know in the comments too some of the things that you've accomplished so far. I love those. Thank you, Grant. Thank you, Courtney. So that just leads us right into action. Wait, I gotta go here. Action. Taking action. So once we get those goals in place, now that's the next step. Show's over, let's go. No. But make that list. If you can physically write down a list of goals, one, it's going to make you feel more accomplished when you do it. You're going to celebrate more, whether it's internally, whether it's just by feeling the love of doing it, getting it accomplished. If you can write down those goals, those big goals, and it's going to bring it into focus, and you don't have to worry about how. The how will work itself out. But once you have those goals onto paper, that's where it really, really starts to resonate. And that with your soul and with your higher power, your angels, however you want to term it, it's going to resonate with them to make it the how happen. Okay, so whether that's getting a better job, whether that's making more money, whether that's building a new house, whatever those goals are, or being off the grid. I don't know if Jim's on here tonight or not. If Jim, if you're on there, shoot me a comment. If you're trying to be off the grid and build a house and do those things and get that all in alignment, that can be a goal. So it's that you write that goal and you start chunking down. You write the goal and then you start chunking down the steps that it takes to accomplish it. And then you take it step by step. It's just like building a house. But what I want you to keep in the back of your mind, and by building a house, I mean you start with the foundation, whether it's a concrete slab you're going to build it on, or if you're going to build it on a basement, you do that. Then you start building the frame of the house. You start building it up from there. So there's steps to that. Like, that's what I mean by building a house. Yeah, Grant says, grow flowers to please Mother Nature. If you don't know Grant and you don't know his flower garden, you ain't seen nothing. And the amount that Grant gives away as he is changing things constantly in that, it's pretty magnificent. Yeah. Thank you, Grant, for doing that. With the action part of it is we make the steps, we write down the goals, we figure out our action steps to accomplish that big goal, and then we start to take action. And the first action you're going to take is by sitting down and doing that list and keeping in the back of your mind the big picture of legacy. What do I want to be known for? Because it's not if, it's when. When it's going to happen, and it can happen to any of us, and we get reminded of that periodically with celebrities, with friends that we know, all these different, we get reminded of it. And so when you keep in the back of your mind, I want you to keep in the back of your mind that legacy that you want to be known for. What do I want to be known for? What do I want them to talk about when I'm not here? And like with Grant, I would definitely, if we would all be saddened if one of us wasn't here. I mean, we'd all be saddened because we would miss each other dearly. But what are the things that we're going to talk about? Definitely, Grant, I'd talk about your pond and your flowers and all that good stuff and the joy that you brought to everybody's hearts doing that. Nothing more joyful than looking at just a beautiful flower. Can't say any more than that. But I want you to keep that in mind. Thanks, Courtney. I want you to keep that in mind as you're thinking of your goals. As you're going through and planning your goals, as you're taking action. And the first action that you're always going to take is this, writing that list, thinking about your goals, writing them down. Those are all action steps that you're taking along the way. So you already took the first action. You put on the show tonight. You were supposed to be here. I know that you're thinking the people that really need to hear this are, in the other room, or are not, listening, or I need to share this to them or something. Somebody, but it's like, really, you're the one that's supposed to be here because you're listening to it now. And if you're listening to it in the replay, thanks for listening to it in the replay. But keep that in mind. What do you want to leave as a legacy? And that's going to motivate you to better goals, really to get in tune with your inner self and what your destiny, what you were destined on, what you were put on this earth for some reason. And that's going to put you on track to what it is. It's going to kind of shake it up and shake up your mindset so that you can discover what that is. It's really that simple. That's why I love this. I love this exercise, putting your mindset in a legacy. What do I want to be known for? What do I want to be? How do I want people to talk about me? And then live your life around it. Live your legacy. That's what it is. Living your legacy. Simple as that. I'm going to leave it there. So this is what you got to do for this week. If you haven't done it already, and if you're not on the email list, let me know. I only put them out Monday through Friday. little tidbits, little things we're going to be working on, and just to make everyone live their legacy. So if you're not on that email list, feel free to shoot me in the comments or shoot me a message, and I can, with an email address, I can certainly put you on that email list. Otherwise, if you go on Dave Stelma, you click on every morning I put, hi Gene. If you go on Dave Stelma Facebook page and you click on every morning I put that email up on there, but sometimes they get in there, sometimes they don't. So if you click on there and you go to the MailChimp account, I use MailChimp. If you go on there and you just hit to subscribe, you'll be added to it. So, and if for some reason that doesn't, Grant says, your legacy is being a great neighbor. Yeah, I miss you guys too. Yeah. But I still get to shovel a little bit here. I don't have to snowplow as much, but I get to shovel a little bit. But go on there, sign up for the email list, and you can get those every day. And just in case it doesn't go out on Dave Stelma on the Facebook page there, but you can click on there and see those every day too, if for some reason you don't want to be on the email list. But other than that, make it your list, write it down, relish it, figure out how you made it happen on those accomplishments, and then start using that. Think of what you want your legacy to be, and then form your goals off of that, and then take the action. Go do it. Do it. All right. Well, until next week, enjoy life and live it to the fullest, and be good. Somebody's watching.
If you like this video, like my Facebook page or subscribe to my YouTube channel, or find everything at davestelma.com.